Hey y'all, what it do? What it do? What it do? It's Thursday, New Year's Eve. Half of y'all probably still taking sleep and trying to get ready for tonight, because I know, baby boo. I just woke up. I feel like I was up till
I know. It's raining here, sister, and the rain was beating on the windows. And I woke up, I was like, oh, just took the covers and pulled them back up. And I'm like, not today. It's New Year's Eve. It's New Year's Eve. Let everything
for
else
real
be
though.
forgotten and everything else.
And I know
So,
some of y'all are ready for this year to be over, done with 2020. Most of us are.
man.
Most of us are. We know it's been a rough year for some people. We're not going to say for all. Not everybody took it the same way. Not everybody walks through the storm the same. Not everybody gets wet the same way. So, but we just want to encourage everybody, going into 2021, because it's not that far away, y'all. It's now a couple of hours, which means administration is about to change even now. It's so much that the possibilities, right? That's all this means. We are hours away from possibility, from change, right? This is a time when we look inside, not only on the outside changes, but the inside changes. This is a time when we make promises to ourselves. So we want to encourage you that, like, the number one promise you want to give yourself in 2021 is love, right? Number two is peace, right? And give yourself some joy. Like, you're able to give all those things to yourself. Don't depend on other people stepping into 2021 to provide that happiness, that joy. Because sometimes people that are, you have a lot of people in 2021 bring you a little headache. Leave them there, because in 2021, you're stepping in with a new mindset, an understanding, a love for yourself, a peace with inside yourself, and a joy around you. So we want to keep on encouraging you, Monday through Friday. I don't know about tomorrow. People might be getting a little lit tonight, so we might take that like Christmas and a little holidays. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're gonna take that
You
holiday.
gotta know I'll be cooking. I'll be cooking. We gotta have, you got to have the black eyed peas. I don't know why. You got to have the cabbage greens. I don't know why. But
You have to have all that good
me
stuff.
personally,
Good in New Year and
man, give me some gumbo. It's cold. Mama cooked some soup the other day. Girl, I was so upset. That soup went away in one day. But you know,
them kids were done playing.
yes, yes, yes,
They're like
yes.
saying all that. Sorry, mom.
Yes. But I do want to piggyback off you about the love, peace, and that joy. The number one, love God and love yourself, because it is impossible to give that love away if you don't have that love within yourself, you
Amen.
know, and that peace. Look, in 2021, we have to just, if we can't, look, find you some peace. Find you some peace. Accept the things that you cannot change, change the things that you can, and learn the difference between the two. Because if
Okay.
you can't change it, then it's not for you to change. It's not your baby to rock. Put the baby down. you know, and then that joy, you can find joy in even the most horrific situations. You really can. So many times we focus on the negative, but if you can find that positive, you know, if even the little things, we're saying we're broke. I always believe if you have a penny, you're not broke. Just one penny. You're not broke. You can't be broke if you have a penny. At least you have a cent. So, we got to find some joy in that. And the fact that we made it through 2020.
Hello, somebody.
We made it through a pandemic. We made it through Trump administration. we made,
4 years of it, y'all. 4 years of
yeah, we made it. We made it through an economic downturn. We made it. We made it as a people. We made it 402 years. We have made it. So just finding joy in that. I know we've had families and friends and loved ones Uh, we have lost some this year, and it was hard. It was hard, you know. But at the same time, just finding joy in the ones that are still here among us, you know.
Okay. Yes.
Let's say I love you a little more in 2021. Let's, call a little more, send those personal texts a little more. Let's just love on each other a little more. And let's just remember, let's find unity. Reach one, teach one this
Okay.
year. Let's do that. Let's just give a little more power to our people this year. Let's support Black more this year and not find so many negative things about each other this year. Let's find a common ground and that we all share the one thing. We're Black people.
Amen to that. Because if we can't get along, then the world's just going to continue to be an ugly place.
Ooh,
We keep on blaming, you know, oh, white people, oh, these people, oh, that people. But then we come out here with our own ugliness, right? Our
yeah.
own hate. And we expect other people to be different, to treat us different. But if we don't start doing different, no one's going to start treating us different. But that
Mhm.
doesn't mean that we ignore the ignorance that's out there, right? No, we don't do that. We move past the ignorance and we check it in the face because that's what we do as leaders. That's what we do as revolutionaries. That's what we do as just individuals.
Yes, 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 that's what we do. And I love O.M.A because we're organizing, we're mobilizing, and we're taking action to do just that. Just that. It's amazing to me that again, a negative thing brought about O.M.A. It was the demise of King George Floyd that actually brought us together as a group. So it goes back to in everything you can find a positive, So it's almost like, I'm sorry that happened. I'm angry that it happened. I'm frustrated that it's still happening, but I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful that out of it, O.M.A was birthed. That out
Mhm.
of it, a friendship, a sisterhood, a royalty between kings and queens came together. So, just finding that joy in that. And I'm happy about that. I am absolutely happy about it.
And that's and again, that's what we're here, right? We're here to spread that joy. We're here. That's why we have the Mondays Queen Support Group to make sure mentally our queens are doing all right, to make sure that there is a check-in point, to make sure
Yeah,
that they do feel supported as a people. We have
yeah,
our my mama calling. We have our our grant class. Why? Because we
yeah,
are diligent about making sure our people build the generational wealth that they need so we don't fall into depression, so we don't fall into these addictions because we
yeah,
don't have what we need, or what makes us a man, what makes us a woman, you know what I'm saying? So we fall into these mindsets that keep us up the devil's behind, as I like to say. You know
yes,
what I'm saying?
yes,
So
yes.
how do we move in a different direction, especially since 2020 has kept us in such this nutshell of bullshit, right? How do
Uh-huh.
we move past that and go into 2021 with, like we said, more love, more joy, and more peace? So, and not everybody's different. Everybody, receives
Uh-huh.
love different, right? You have the
Yes.
5 love languages. What is your love language?
What is your love language?
Some people don't even understand their own love language, right? So if you
Right.
can't understand your own, you definitely can't understand somebody else's.
Oh
So
man, man,
things
man.
you want to pick up stepping into 2021. There's this, you can say in 2021, I'm not going to let the small bullshit or other people's perception even bother me, right? Even irk me. If I don't know you, I do not have to pay you no type of never mind, baby. If you ain't paying my bills, if you ain't taking care of my
Mhm.
kids, baby, your opinion is your opinion. Do you ride on that? If that's what makes you happy, I'm glad it put a smile on your face. Because, baby, nothing you can do or say should, especially if I don't know you. A lot of us are letting social media and what people say like really move them in a way of, one, depression. We see young people killing themselves because bullying is a real thing,
It is
right?
a real thing.
Extra far on the internet,
It
right?
is a real thing. It is a real thing.
We
It
have these
is.
trolls and adults, y'all do it too. So it is what it is. But when it affects some adults don't even know how to handle it. Again, some of y'all are taking things way too personally. But
Yes.
but these kids, right, they're growing up where they're really being affected and they don't know how to handle it. And if us as adults don't handle it well, what do we expect them to do, right? So it's about, like Miss Yolanda said, each one teach one. Like sometimes our actions is what can teach more than our words, right? Lead by your actions. So we just want to be mindful of what we are doing. That's why we say we want our people to build generational wealth, so they're not working 3 jobs, coming home stressed out and taking that out on their family, because we understand that it trickles down. We want our people to live joyous lives so that these spectators out here who are writing this negative narrative, because they've already set us up in a place of failure. And now that we know the systems that are set up against us, we can say, just like these people that don't know us, F you and your systems. We're going to move on past that, because we understand as a people, with when we are united as one, again, we can move mountains, which we will do. And any mountains we can't move, we will go around. Nigga, that's why it's a mountain. You can literally go around the mountain, up the mountain, down the mountain. You don't literally have to move the mountain. Some of us are standing in front of the mountain crying, talking about, it's not moving. Well, bitch, go around.
Girl, if they don't get out there, oh, Dr. Watt, my Lord, to move my mountain. Give me the strength to climb. No, 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 no. I speak to that mountain and tell it to move out of the way. Get on out the way. You know what I'm saying? Why are we climbing up the mountain? No. And the thing about it is we see that the mountain is not moving. If it's not moving, if the mountain is not moving, to me, that tells me that ain't my mountain.
To climb. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes the easiest route is around it. Like, why do you have to go up, down, and waste all that time and energy? Like, just think of it that way. Like, sometimes these mountains are not for you to climb. Why are we trying to get up that battle, that uphill battle? You like, damn, this is taking a lot of time and energy, and you frustrated. Listen, most of us got stuck. You fired. This is time to make real change. This is a time when you're stepping into 2021 where you really have opportunities to live your life, to live your fulfillment, to live your, not even that, to live your purpose. If you really step into this year with the right mindset, understanding how to manage your money, understanding, okay, shoot, I don't even have a job. So how can I start my own business? What need? How can I turn my talent into my employment? How can I live what it is? Like, I'm not sitting here clocking in for the next man's dream. How am I living now my dream, which is your purpose? Miss Yolanda says it all the time. If you go to sleep with something on your heart and you wake up with that same thing on your heart, that is your purpose. So stop ignoring what your body is constantly telling you, because these sicknesses that you have, this depression that you have, these addictions that you have, is because you are ignoring your purpose. It's because you keep on trying to ignore your dreams. It's because you keep on trying to live somebody else's dream that is not yours. It's not yours. It's not even fit for you. You are sitting here trying to go up somebody else's mountain when you need to say, I need to just go around.
Preach.
Some of us just go around the mountain. It's okay. We learned in the Bible, they marched around the wall of Jericho. They didn't try to climb the wall of Jericho. They marched around the wall of Jericho. So why are we climbing up another man's mountain that we know is not built for us at the end of the day?
At the end of the day. At the end of the day. And it would seem to me, after 402 years of walking and trying to climb up this systematic mountain, that I am so happy, Queen, that our people, the alarm clock has gone, and we are waking up. We are waking up and finding out that we're the people who built the nation. We're the people who brought all these things to be, and it is still in us. It is still in us. It still resonates in us. And I am so glad, because a lot of times we look back and we think that work hasn't been done, and it has. It has. I am so grateful for our ancestors. I am so grateful for our parents. I am so grateful for those who went ahead of us and walked down and tore down those walls. They really did. They blazed trails so that we can have a plain path to walk through. But the thing about it is we have to recognize that the work is still not done. We
Mhm.
still hadn't made it there yet. So until then, we're still pressing, we're still pushing, we're still marching forward. So let's not forget about the places that we've been, but at the same time, as we go forward, let's remember the heartache. Let's remember the lessons. Let's even remember the things that we have overcome. So as we continue to march forward, we'll march forward with purpose. We'll march forward intentionally, because a lot of times we move without intention. We're just doing things. But let everything be intentional. Know why you're doing a thing. No, you know what I'm
That
saying?
part.
Let,
That part.
let yeah, let's just not be out there haphazardly just existing, like zombies. We're not zombies. We're
We tell
not.
that we teach that in our grand class, right? Know your business. Put your business plan together. Know what you're going to be spending in your business, right? So you're not
Yeah.
spending recklessly. So you can do that same thing in your life. Know that you're not
Period.
spending energy recklessly. Know that you're not wasting time with senseless people or just senseless things. Like what are you doing to better yourself, to grow yourself, to take yourself to new levels? It's not even better situations, because your situation might be fine, but to new levels. Every day you can learn something new. Every day we should be pushing to learn something new. And it's not saying that you need to learn everything, but it's okay to learn new things.
It
It's okay
is
to
okay.
learn new perspectives. So that's
Yes.
what we want everybody to step into to 2021, because 2020 definitely showed us all, because the pandemic is still out here, COVID is
Yes.
still out here. So we
Yes.
all know tomorrow, next week is not promised to none of us, because God, when He's ready, He's ready. This girl, her mask got everyone like match, black, blue. Yes, yes. And that's the joy I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
Yes, yes, yes. One thing that we can do, I do understand, with the pandemic, it brought a lot of questions. It brought a lot of questioning as, am I doing what I'm called to do? Am I doing what I was born to do? I have a lot of people asking, well, how do you know what you're called to do? Or how do you know what you're born to do? Or, that you're doing the right thing. And, we were talking about the five love languages, words of affirmation, saying supportive things to your partner, or acts of kindness, or acts of service, just doing things, helping, being helpful, or receiving gifts. Some people like to receive gifts. Some people like to give gifts. Some people like quality time. They just like you to be in their presence. And then some people need that touch. Those are the five love languages. But then you have 12 gifts, and then you have 12 talents and 9 gifts. Yeah, so you can go to gifttest.org. Gifttest.org is a simple test that you can take, and it'll tell you what are your gifts inside. Do you have gifts of administration, or do you have gifts of being able to talk? Are you flamboyant? Do you have those gifts to draw people? These are all gifts and talents that are inside of us. And if we don't tap into those gifts and talents, sometimes we're just lost. We don't know. People don't know that there's a gift in talking. Really, there's a gift in talking. You better ask out Oprah. You better
Uh,
ask. You better ask
any
Shonda.
Wendy Williams, any of those
You
women,
better ask
all the ladies
Right.
on
Right.
the View, all those panelists, that's their gift. That's their
Exactly.
purpose.
Some people are just funny. Some people are musically inclined. Some people, uh, just just take time. My sister says all the time, I am me sexual. I love me.
Y'all
So
know I am. I
if
am
you love you, then
loving.
the most important thing that you can do for you is to find out what makes you tick. What gives you life? What makes you happy. Because a lot of times we spend our whole life making somebody else happy. Sometimes we spend our whole life making somebody else rich or making somebody else prosperous, and we forget about us. And then at the end of the day, at the end of the year, on December the 31st, you're looking in the mirror and you're saying, what have I done with my year? A
Yeah.
whole year.
And
Well,
then
guess
you
what?
had time to do something with yourself because
Yes,
all locked
yes,
down. So
yes,
reflect on what you didn't do. Know that
yes,
you still have time to do it. And and we're not saying here, if you have a job, we're not telling you to quit your job. We're not telling you to do none of that. Pay your bills, do
no,
what you want to do. But
no,
this year, you can still we're running into a lot of people now, right? We had a really good grant the other day, but a lot of people are sitting here, right? Starting businesses, working 3 jobs, trying to start their own business or nonprofit, but then putting their own money into it, not knowing that there's grant funding that can help them
yes,
start their own businesses instead of
yes,
using the little bit of pennies or dollars that they have to do it
yes.
themselves. Again, what we need to remember is that nobody's getting rich overnight, right? A real
No,
business, people who are
it's not a sprint.
like our king says, certain things take a marathon. It's not a sprint. So we got to understand success is a marathon. And with that said, like we got to understand our business. Some of us don't even like, did you write the numbers down? Do you know how much your product costs? Like just little things, right? What do you want to pay yourself? Or what do you want to pay your employees? People, I don't know. Like, and you're not even writing those things down. We're talking about, I want to do a whole business. Like from where? From what? Like, what is your vision? Can we get at least that? So it's like, where are we starting from? Sometimes y'all know me, I dream all the time, bigger, bigger, and bigger. But
Yeah,
I'm not sitting here trying to think that all those dreams are going to happen overnight. I'm planting seeds. I'm understanding that when the harvest does come, I will be very fruitful. So those are just the things that I am passing on and showing other people. And it's the ripple effect is already working in itself with
it
just
is.
sharing the knowledge that we have. A lot of us just want to hold, oh, this worked for me, I'm not going to share it. I don't want nobody to know what helped me become successful. And it's like,
Girl,
each other.
when we realize that we're just a teaspoon in the ocean, that we're just one teaspoon in the ocean. And I come to realize that what jealousy is not believing that you can do the same thing or not believing that there's room enough for you to do it. Really? Come on now. Think about it. How many burger places are there? How many chicken restaurants are there? How many? How many Italian or Indian or whatever? And you know why? Because that person didn't believe that if I open a shop, then everybody's going to go to theirs. Nobody's going to want my kind. They're going to all go to theirs. No, that's jealousy. That's jealousy. If you want to get over jealousy, then believe in yourself that the same God that did it for them can do it for you too. He
Okay.
didn't run out of gifts. He didn't run out of talents. He didn't run out of money. He didn't run out of wisdom. He didn't run out of knowledge. He didn't run out of witty ideas. There are still some things that are yet to be invented because we the people, we have to use our mind,
Yeah, but
enlarge our
society is made for
imagination.
us to be trapped so we cannot use our minds. That's what people need to understand. Don't allow
Yes,
these systems that we know, right? Chasing a credit score, chasing this, trying to put money into this,
yes.
trying to chase a Nike, try to chase a brand. Like the systems that are already designed to keep us chained into this slave mentality, it's important that we understand them so that we do better. Like if nothing else, if we didn't lay out some systematic racism behavior throughout 2020 for some of
Yes.
y'all to change and have a different mindset going into 2021, we did not do our job properly. But you know what I'm saying? Because that's really what it's about. It's about the mindset, because until your mind changes, you're going to keep on walking into those same situations. You're going
Yes.
to keep on doing the same things. And
Yes.
unfortunately, what you think you're passing on to other people, that damage you're really only doing to yourself. If you walk
Really.
every day to a job that you don't like, trust and believe you probably will not live that long, because every day you're killing yourself. Every day
Mhm.
you're killing a little bit of part of yourself. And that's why you end up with these cancers and the Alzheimer's and
Mm.
all these things that come on. Really, number one killer is stress. You have
Ah,
attacks because of stress is because
Mhm.
most of the time y'all are setting yourselves into situations with no plan of getting out of them. You're just content. You hate your boss. You hate everyone the people who work with you. But I gotta go. I gotta go. You might have to go right now, but what's your plan to get out of the situation so you don't continue to bring that stress home to your family? So you don't continue to be like, well, I'm making six figures, but you're a fucking asshole. No one cares. You're gonna die alone with your little dog
Right,
or your
right.
freaking cat. Like you don't
Mm.
really have relationships. So it's not about the money, so to say. But
Mhm.
again, it's about your mindset. The richest people we know are out here killing themselves. They still
Mm.
have depression. They still have addiction. You see all these people in Hollywood with addictions to I need an upper, I need a downer, I need. You got so many people talking about I need these drugs so I can feel better about myself. Come on.
Mm.
Not about
No,
the
no,
world. So I can
no.
feel better about myself.
To feel better about yourself? Oh gosh. No.
What's wrong with
No.
you? Who's telling you that there's something wrong with you? Some of y'all need to
Ooh.
let that go. You don't need a pill to tell you how beautiful you are. You don't even need somebody else to tell you how beautiful you are. All you need to do is wake up in the fucking morning, look in the mirror, and say, "I'm a badass bitch," or I'm that dude. That's who. This is who I am. I love me. I'm telling you, if you just start there, what everybody else says to you, baby, it will not matter. You will step out like a boss every single time.
Every day, every day,
Other
every
people's
day.
approval. Why are we looking for other people's approval? Why do
Oh
we
man.
damn if someone says, "Oh, well, you look like this" or "You look like that"? I don't care. I
I
really
don't.
don't care because at the end of the day, number one, I always think I'm a badass. Number two, I got a husband that shows me every day that I am. Number three, I
Listen,
got kids, and I surround myself with people that what the
that's
crown
gonna tell you.
may shift, but it doesn't fall. It's who you surround yourself. Some of y'all are still putting yourself, surrounding yourself with people who really just like to down you, like to down your dreams, and you ain't going nowhere. And now you walking around with the same attitude them same people are passing on to you because now you're the dream
Wow.
killer because they gone killed your dream. Baby,
Wow.
if you don't just mind
Wow.
your business, if you don't just
Wow.
don't let those people's BS roll off your back like you a boss,
Yeah.
because that's what bosses do. Bosses
That's
don't
it.
walk into the job place carrying about all their employees that don't like them.
Nope.
They don't give a damn. All the CEOs of Walmart who know they treat their employees like crap, whose employees talk about, oh, my boss, they don't care. They're not there to make friends. They
And
don't care.
actually,
That's
they're
why most
hired
people
to do just what they're doing. They're hired to be assholes. They're
and
hired to be.
we're not saying to be assholes, but stop being so sensitive that when someone hurts your feelings,
Oh,
that now
wow.
you gotta take a pill for it. That now you feel you gotta run to some drug because my friend Beth always says, get over yourself. Just get over yourself. Like love yourself a little bit more. That's all
Yeah.
it takes. When
Yeah.
somebody's hurting you, it's because it's hitting some truth where it's just like, damn, you're uncomfortable. What is that? Tap into that. Tap
That's
into
what
really
you need to tap into.
what's
Exactly.
really making you
Exactly.
uncomfortable. What's making you mad?
Exactly.
What's making you upset? What is it about that person and what they said?
That really bothered you.
That's your truth. That's not even on them. That's your truth. Because
Mm.
if anybody's out there lying on me or saying something that I don't like that I know is not true, I really just don't give a damn.
I don't. I don't. It took me years. It took me years to get there. It really did. And what I had to do was I had to start reprogramming my own mind with, dealing with my own feelings and my own emotions. And it was one of the hardest lessons for me, was to stop allowing other people's emotions to dictate my emotions. You know, because this is how you feel about a situation, then I have to feel the same way you feel about the situation.
That's
And
how.
man, it was knocking me all off. Hormones was everywhere, mindset was everywhere, and I got to feeling confused about, am I supposed to feel this way or am I supposed to feel this way? Well, somebody say that's a wrong feeling. You shouldn't feel that way. Well, how can you tell me how I should feel? So and it took me reprogramming my mind. It took me learning, Yolanda. I literally had to stop and recognize my own emotions, recognize my own feelings, listen to my own spirit, and react and respond according to my own thoughts, you know. And it was a process, but it was one that was so worth it. And I love me so much more now. You know, I have learned to trust my own decisions. I have learned to trust my own thoughts, you know, because a lot of times we make decisions and we move based off what somebody else think we should be doing or what they feel like was right or wrong for our own lives. But, you know, it was a lesson that I had to learn. And I am so glad that I have learned it because now I'm walking in my purpose. I'm walking in my calling, not based off what somebody else did. You know, we can't vicariously live through anybody else. We have to do this for ourselves, you know, because at the end of our journey, I want to lay down and go to glory and peace. I don't want to feel like I'm unfulfilled or that I didn't complete my mandate because I was too busy completing somebody else's. And I think 2020 was an eye-opening year to allow a lot of people to look inside of themselves because you had too much time. You know, you were at home, most of us anyway, with ourselves. And now you have to deal with those emotions. You have to deal with those thoughts. You have to deal with those dreams. So what are you going to do about it? Are you know, if because if you don't deal with them, they're going to deal with you.
Mhm.
They're going to deal with you. So the best thing to do is get a book. And I don't mean a book to read. Get a notebook. Write down your feelings. Write down your emotions. You know, take thought of those things and really take time out to recognize what you are feeling. What am I feeling? How do I feel today? Why do I feel this way today?
And it's
And
okay. It's okay to
it's
be sad
okay.
sometimes. It's okay to
To be
feel.
okay.
It's okay. Don't let nobody tell you it's not okay to feel the way you feel. Now, your actions, I'm not saying your actions are always going to be right towards your feelings, but don't let nobody tell you the way you feeling is wrong. Now,
Right.
everybody, there's actions you can take, like Miss Yolanda said, write it down, be able to recognize. Like even my son right now, we have this anger management book that we go through. And
Yeah.
really, that's what the book is about. It's about him recognizing his trigger points. It's about him now going through the process when he's not angry to look back and reflect on times when he was angry to say, well, what triggered me? How
Yes.
did I act? How can I
Yes.
act different?
Yes.
Okay, we go through, okay, my husband's always like, well, you can breathe, you can count backwards. And there's different, and then you gave us a little one the other day about grabbing something cold, right? And putting that in your hand. So again, writing things down and then also having those affirmations, knowing
Yes.
that's writing it down, making
Yes.
vision boards. That's also putting things into fruition that you
Yes.
see happening. Like if you have time today, going into 2021, actually, I think one of my friends is having like a New Year's Eve vision board party
Yes.
online,
Yes.
so that's something you can do, you and your family stepping into the new year. Like, what do you see for yourself? What do your kids see for themselves? It could be the grade, right? It could be,
Yes.
I'm going to be the top on my cheerleading team, or I'm going to get better on my dancing, or I'm going to improve in science, or maybe you're going to the kids create apps and games and all these extra stuff now. So allow your kids, start showing them these are things that you can do together, right? We pray together, but are we also teaching our children the other elements of self pride, self affirmations? That's not
Wow.
always a spiritual level, but there's things that we can also do to say, this is who you are. Are you telling yourself this every day? There's things, yes, we tell God every day, but there's things that we lack to tell ourselves, like, I love me. I love me for me. I am good enough. I am enough because I'm enough for me. It is okay to tell yourself that. I'm not saying step into every room like, I'm the bomb. I'm the That's not what I'm telling you. I said go look in the mirror and make sure you tell yourself that when you get out the house.
Oh
But
yeah. You know, at the end of the
the
day, if you
mindset,
can't rule this territory, if you can't rule this territory, if you can't rule this territory, there's no way that you can rule the kingdom. This you can't, you know, because your own building, your own kingdom is all disarray, you know. So if anybody can come and infiltrate your own kingdom, if I can allow your thoughts, your feelings to infiltrate my thoughts and my feelings, then my whole kingdom is just, I mean, anybody can come in and rule it.
I feel
Anybody can.
about people who have Alzheimer's or people you see on the street and now they're like talking to themselves or they're like they see them as schizophrenic or crazy. But a
Mhm.
lot of those people before they even reach those points, they're in stressful lives, they're in stressful jobs. And a lot of the stuff that their brain is now cannot control as far as keeping in are just the thought and the process of their mind that they've been bottling up for the last 10, 15 years. It's because they've been in a job that all day they literally in their mind been like this fucking asshole. This I hate it. I hate it here. I hate it here. I hate it here. Blah, blah, blah. I can't stand people. I can't stand people. It's the stress that they're in. That's why you see people come out of the army and that's where they are. It's because the stress that they were in. So don't think anyone just ends up that way. It's because they've been either walking around with a mask a mask that they can no longer control, and now they just look crazy as hell because for so long you've been pretending to be somebody else. It's real talk. Your brain can only store so much. Your body can only handle so much. And if you don't understand your unhappiness is just as toxic, as just as deadly as any virus, like that's why your body takes on these viruses, because you're already breaking your body down with
Yes.
unhappiness. That's
Yes.
really with unhappiness. You wonder what you
Yes.
see some people and you're like, damn, they live forever, they're just living their best life, because really their mindset is a different place where they're just not taking on all these stresses. Not saying you don't have responsibilities, like responsibilities gonna bring on its own amount of stress, but where does the stress come from? Because most of us are living out of our means, right?
Right.
You bring those
Right.
some of these stresses we bring on ourselves, yet
Right.
but it's easier to put the blame on other things or
Right.
circumstances. Like some things we just don't need as people of color, like we got sucked into these brands that we have to wear.
Yes.
Why?
Yes.
Why?
Yes.
Like so
Yes.
much of our money, our wealth has gone
Yes.
back to Nike, has gone back to Marvel, has gone back. And I say that because we buy these things like we have the money to buy them. And that's just this, like I feel like my generation or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like why are we chasing that? What is that to us? What is that making us? How is that building us wealth? If at the end of the day you have more Nikes or invested in more Nikes that could have bought a house over the last 10 years, imagine if you were saving that same investment money for Nike since you were not 17, 16, and now you 25 or whatever.
Wow.
So it's understanding how we can all do better, how we can teach our kids to do better, how it's okay to be like, do you understand the value of a dollar instead
Yeah.
of buying these expensive things that they do not need? Like my son has two piggy banks. Like, okay, you can spend your own money. How are we going to use this money? Like, he wants to be filthy rich. Well, honey, the only way you can do that is if you use your money wisely. Like, that's all he knows. I want to
Yeah.
be rich. Am I rich enough? Like, no, you got to keep saving. Like, you can't be, and he don't really spend his money. Like, he buys his games, like, okay, once a week, even like some of his V-Bucks he got for Christmas. He still
Uh-huh.
got a little bit left. So it's just like, it's okay to tell your kids, like, teach them about generational wealth. Let them know that you yourself are trying to build some generational wealth for them.
Yes. 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 Really.
Okay.
It's okay. It is really, really okay.
And I don't mean you're saying I'm going to work so you can so you can whatever, and then you come home with a crappy attitude, y'all. That is not no.
Man, that's hard. That's hard. That's really, really hard. And I'm even within the Black community, because we have lived a life of stress. It sometimes it's even understanding stress. Well, and what amazed me was I had become addicted to stress. Literally, you can become addicted to stress. You
Damn.
can become addicted to hard times. You can become addicted to even
Drama.
failure. Yeah, you can become addicted to drama. And it's almost like if you don't feel that stress across your back or you don't feel that pain, then you didn't have a normal day. And it's because you've lived that way for so long, it's normal. It's like a normal thing. I look at TV a lot, especially about the guys who work in the stock exchange. Man, they go to work with their antacid because they already know my stomach is about to be this and my head is about to be that. But I remember when I worked for this particular company, and I actually got fired from that company. I got fired from that company. Uh, but I remember the day that I went to work, and I went to the desk and I had my white box on the desk, because they when you knew when you were getting fired, you had the white box on the
It's
desk.
coming.
And so when I went to work and I saw the white box on the desk, girl, I grabbed my heart and I started laughing. And my coworkers were looking and they was like, Miss Yolanda, do you know what that box means? And I said, yeah, freedom. I'm free. I'm free. I'm free. And I remember my manager, I worked for a banking company. So and I work with home mortgages. So therefore they had to watch me pack up everything, because you have a lot of personal information. And so she was watching me pack up, and I remember packing up my box, and I was just singing, "This is the day that the Lord has made."
Making them people all types of mad.
Yes. So she asked me, she said, Miss Yolanda, are you okay? And I looked at her, I said, you know what? I'm actually fine because I walked in here with a migraine because I just didn't know what was happening. I didn't know that I was going to be fired that day. I really didn't know it. But it was like I would wake up every day with a headache, and my headache didn't leave until the end of the day. And it was like a dry headache all week until that day that I was off. And I had that one day that I didn't have a headache, but the next day it started back because I knew I had to go back to that job.
And that's what I'm saying. We're putting yourselves in situations where y'all are stressed out and you causing
Yes,
these cancers and these sicknesses in your body because you're going into situations
yes,
knowing that they toxic.
yes. And so now I'm at the point to where when I feel pain coming across my shoulders, I automatically know it's stress. I know I can recognize it now. I recognize and I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Let's go back and find out where is this coming from? Because I am not going through a whole 24 hours stressed out. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I recognize this pain. I recognize this headache. I recognize this stomach ache. I recognize what's going on. Wait a minute. That's frustrating me. Hold up. Hold up. You aggravating me. Hold up. So learning how to not react.
It's okay to tell people that you are pushing a button. Yo,
You
I was like that for the longest time. I will let it build up. I wouldn't tell people nothing. I'd be like, all right, I let that pass. I let that pass. And then I'd snap like, yo, you ain't got to keep on. That's not you got the wrong perspective. But now
Yes.
I look like the bad person because now I just totally snapped on you after
Yes.
like years of letting you do the same stupid stuff that I really don't like. So my advice there is let people know up front what your boundaries are. That way you don't have to go ham on them later on down the line. Let them know, if you're not the type of female that, don't call me a bitch. Let other females who like that word, let them know that my name is either, Miss Yolanda or Yolanda or Queen. Like I check dudes real quick. Like, don't call me babe. Nope, nope. I got a husband. Like you call me one or two things by my name that my mama gave me or Queen. Those are the only two I answer to. Other than that babe, that honey, that all that other stuff, I'm not the one. I'm not the one. So you got to check people like at the
Yes.
door, like let them know, just like your house, like we say your temple, your body is your temple, your house, right? If you don't allow people to walk through your house with shoes on, you check them at the door, right? You let them know, take your shoes off at the door. Hi, babies are so hi.
This
Hi,
is the joy of going live. I get to hold my, I get to,
hi. Y'all know that brought y'all some joy. That's what we need. So that's what we're here to give, this little bit of wisdom. We stepping into the new year. We coming up on that hour. So y'all know, hey, we don't want to keep you too long because we know y'all, we got that New Year's cleaning to do, probably wrap it
yeah.
up, do whatever you gotta do, cook.
And my look, we're still from the South. Yeah, my son likes chitlins, so Queen got to go and get them.
Cleaning, cleaning. cleaning. So again, y'all, not tomorrow because we're going to take that holiday, but we'll see you again on Monday. And don't
Yeah,
forget, we have Miss
yeah.
Yolanda's Black Queen Support Group on Monday. We also have our Entrepreneur Support Group on Tuesday. And we have Miss G is back live with us on Wednesday. So, y'all, O.M.A is not stopping. If anything, we're going full force in 2021. We're not
Yeah.
playing with these politicians. You know what it's about. We're hitting it on many levels, like the root causes. We are not playing with them, but we love you. Please, please, please keep your heads up. You know, learn a little something new, put your stuff down, write it down, write your affirmations down, make a vision board. We love you. Bye.
And of course, I'm representing the Southern University today.
Woo-hoo.
Hey, swag all day.
As you would hope. All right.
It's you.
Bye.